Welcome Libra Rising to your February 2024 Astrology Outlook. Topics this month we're going to be discussing are the lunations, the Sun, personal planets being Mars, Venus and Mercury, the transits they're making, the houses and how they're impacting you. Libra Rising, you are raring to go and plant some seeds for the future. On February 9, there is a new moon in Aquarius, and this is occurring in your 5th house of joy and pleasure. This is the house that's associated with sports, children, creative projects, romance, high risk gambling, investments. A lot going on in this house. So when you have a new moon here, this is when you are really connected on an emotional landscape to something for the future, something you'd like to see grow. Are you trying to expand your family? Would you like to have a first child? Is there something that creatively really ticks your boxes in an emotional level and you want to begin something new that is in flow with you? Here's your opportunity come February 9. On February 24, there is a full moon in Virgo, and this for you, Libra Rising, is occurring in your 12th house. Let's just dip into what the 12th house is for you. Your 12th house is all about things that are behind the scenes. This is a private space. It's not a public space. So this is where you go to retreat into your philosophical and spiritual space, where you rest, things that you do to check out, so to speak, from the day-to-day grind. But when we have a full moon coming on the 24th in this house, this is almost a point where you are emotionally releasing something from the past, something that you do that is just personal to you, that you may be ready to let go of. So you could be letting go of a spiritual belief. You could be looking at things from a different lens in regards to personal vices, things that hold you back. This is the illumination culmination point where you can release and move on to be in flow and live your bliss. Now let's talk about the Sun. Now the Sun has been transiting in your 5th house and continues to do so as we open up into the month of February. With this transit, what's highlighted and where you're putting all your energy and inspiration into is those 5th house topics, again being about physical and sporting achievements, children, creativity projects, investments and romantic connection and joy. So you could have been and continue to do so, having a lot of fun and feeling lighter than you have for some time. On the 18th of February, we see the Sun ingress into Pisces, your 6th house, for 4 weeks. The planets Saturn and Neptune are currently transiting in Pisces also. So what is this for you, Libra Rising? Well, your 6th house topics lit up. It's almost like the 5th house of fun is like, that's done and over. Now we have to get back down to the grind. So in February, we really are getting some traction from the new year in regards to our resolutions, our aspirations and dreams and goals for the future ahead. Now for you, it's all about your daily routine. Is it something that you could be retweaking regarding your health, your exercise regime? You could be really quite busy in regards to your work and your career at this time. Pets are also highlighted too. So pets might be really important when we have the Sun transiting that 6th house for 4 weeks. This is also a place of service, how you provide merit and value to other people through a learned and lived experience. So you might be giving out some advice to other people, or your work might see you taking a different direction in helping others. Co-workers as well is highlighted. So you might be very busy at this time when the Sun is transiting your 6th house. Mercury for you, Libra Rising, has been transiting in Capricorn, your 4th house. Your 4th house topics are all about real estate, your home, ancestry, family, and your sense of solid foundations. Well, Mercury is going to be on the move on the 5th of February, ingressing into Aquarius, your 5th house, conjuncting Pluto, setting off a new synodic cycle between Mercury and Pluto. Now, when Mercury ingresses into the 5th, this is a lot of putting down money or putting down a bet in regards to an investment or gambling. So you could be putting your money where your mouth is in regards to a future investment. There also is a highlight, what's highlighted here, is a lot of mental stimulation and communication between you and a particular romantic partner. There could be talk of children or wanting to have children or expanding your family again. This is also a time where you may be feeling mentally sharp in regards to creative projects that you'd like to initiate or what you would like to see grow and flourish. That's very personal to you. On the 10th, we see Mercury squaring Jupiter in Taurus, your 8th house. This is a day where you are on notice to look at the finer details before you leap in, because this is almost forewarned as forearmed. Jupiter in that 5th house is all about having fun and expanding and really being optimistic about the future. But Mercury needs those details, and details in that 8th house is all about what assets do I have and resources? Are there others that can help me? If I need to sign any contracts, I need to know the finer details before I leap in. So take it easy here on the 10th. On the 16th, we see Mercury squaring Uranus and Taurus, your 8th house again. So now you're on notice here, Libra, for an out of the blue, swift, acute change that may come in that rattles you in regards to the 5th and the 8th. So what does this mean in general? Basically, you're on call to take notice of what decisions that you're making or aren't making on the 10th and on the 16th. If you haven't made it a firm decision or you're feeling higgledy-piggledy, this is the day where something comes in and sweeps you off your balance. So heads up here, there may be contention in regards to other people's resources and your sense of joy and pleasure. On the 23rd, Mercury is ingressing into Pisces. This is Mercury's detriment place here in your 6th house. So Mercury, as you can see, moves quite swiftly this month. That means we're thinking and communicating and expressing our ideologies quite quickly in different subjects this month. For you, ingressing into the 6th, this is where Mercury is a little lost in the juice in Pisces. It's very creative. It likes music and art and speaking about the spiritual and philosophical side of life. Mercury could have you very feeling more compassionate than usual and wanting to connect and unify with others. But the fact that it's in your 6th house, it could have you at odds with what you need to do on a daily basis with your work, your health routine, and what you want to check out of in regards with Mercury in Pisces. On the 28th, Mercury is conjuncting Saturn in Pisces. I like this aspect, Libra rising, because this is where you could have a more of a mature lens about your vision regarding your everyday routines, your personal health routines, also your work, co-workers, pets. This is where something comes in that sharpens you up in as much as going, let's get back on board here. Saturn is all about the wisdom and learned and lived experience. So you're on call here on the 28th to enjoy the smartening up space here, an aspect that's occurring. Mars, that planet of rambunctiousness, drive, initiation, conflict and severing, has been transiting Libra rising in your 4th house of Capricorn. So this is where you might be very determined to get on top of home renovations, get your house in order, real estate, really enjoying a lot of action and communication with family, or really driven to look at your ancestry. On the 7th of February, Mars in Capricorn is sextiling Neptune in Pisces, and this is your 6th house. So when we have this sextile aspect from Mars to Neptune, you could be getting very creative in regards to a creative project in the home. There could also be a sense of you're very feeling very ethereal, very connected to ancestry, family. Something's really ticking your boxes here on the 7th of February between you and something to do with your solid foundations and how you're known, something that's very personal to you. On the 13th, Mars is going to ingress into Aquarius also, and this occurs in your 5th house, conjuncting that Pluto, setting off a new synodic cycle between Mars and Pluto for the future. When Mars ingresses into your 5th house of joy and pleasure, sports, recreation, investments, children, your creative projects, this is where you have an amplification of energy. You could be very fired up and ambitious when Mars ingresses here on the 13th. On the 27th, Mars is going to square Jupiter in Taurus, and this is your 8th house. So when we have that square from the 5th to the 8th, you're on notice here, Libra rising, to check yourself before you wreck yourself. In other words, don't be so driven in one direction in regards to those 5th house topics of children, creative projects, investments, sport, pleasure, romance, that it's going to affect your sense of stability in regards to resources, assets, and your sense of investments and contracts with other people. You may be in contention with a specific romantic partner on this day. It's a passing transit, but forewarned is forearmed. This can be a tricky one. Now on to the last of our personal planets, and it's Venus, your ruling planet, no less, Libra rising. Venus has been transiting in Capricorn, your 4th house, and continues to do so, opening up the month of February. Now, Venus is going to be trining Uranus in Taurus, your 8th house, on the 7th. And this is an unexpected change regarding other people's resources, assets, and money that assists you. So there could be something quite acute happening on this day. Forewarned is forearmed. Something out of the blue could really throw you in a loop. That is quite favorable because it's a trine aspect. So there is something auspicious coming in that's going to be abundant and beneficial for you. On the 13th, Venus is sextiling Neptune in Pisces, your 6th house. So Venus-Neptune sextile is delicious for harmony between you and other people. You could be getting really creative about a new health routine or a daily routine that you'd like to begin. There could be a romantic partner or connection that is doing this with you or encouraging you. There could be some really nice moments in regards to a creative project that you've been working on in regards to a professional workspace that gets its moment in the spotlight also. On the 16th, we see Venus ingressing into Aquarius, your 5th house, conjuncting Pluto. What a fantastic place for Venus to be in the 5th house. This in ancient astrology is known as the joy of Venus. The 5th house is all about pleasure, romance, investments, creativity, sport, children. This is just a place where most people have a lot of great times when it's in the 5th house. Now, Venus ingressing here, conjuncting that Pluto on the 16th, we're setting off a new synodic cycle between Venus and Pluto. So this is the very beginning. It's the incubation stage of something expanding in your 5th house in the future. So Venus brings in helpful allies, partnerships and connections, brings in a sense of harmony and bliss. So for you, Libra rising, you're in flow and really enjoying this transit when we have Venus ingressing into your 5th. On the 22nd, Venus is going to conjunct the opposite of her, being Mars, in Aquarius, your 5th house. Now, a Venus-Mars conjunction is setting off a new synodic cycle as well. So Venus conjuncting Mars brings in a sense of ease and stabilizing energy. Venus, which is all about pleasure and enjoyment, is going to simmer down Mars's fiery passion and integrate it so something comes together that brings in balance and unity and harmony. This is a fantastic day. If you feel as if a romantic connection has been a little distracted or illusory, this is where things can come back on board and in harmony. You could also be very fired up about an investment, or children are highlighted here as well. It's going to be great for children if you have any, or beginning a new family as well. On the 24th, we see Venus squaring Jupiter in Taurus, your 8th house. Now, a Venus-Jupiter square, as an astrologer, my perspective is the only problem is, what do I find more pleasurable? So Jupiter in Taurus in your 8th house is all about expanding resources, allies, and things that can help you and benefit you. And Venus just kicking up her heels and having the time of her life in the 5th is all about, what do I find more pleasure in? So it's like, do I have the resources to be doing all of this fun stuff? That's as simple as I can put it. This looks like a delicious day for deciding what really ticks your boxes. Is it the 5th house or the 8th house? Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. I hope you have a blessed February of 2024, and I will see you in the month of March.